I'm KJ Burdette, and I will be discussing the 2022 NLC topic, which concerns COVID-19, how it affected businesses, and what legal issues they face. I researched two businesses. The first one that I researched was Costco Wholesale. Costco Wholesale was deemed an essential business during COVID, so they remained open, at least in the state of Nevada. Costco Wholesale was very good about enforcing CDC guidelines, and they went above and beyond. Employees had to wear masks, often gloves, and employees and members, aka customers, had to stay social distance 6 feet apart at all times. And then they had certain regulations for if an employee were to become sick with COVID-19, this employee would have to stay home until they were asymptomatic, and once they're asymptomatic, they would have to have their temperature checked for 5 days to make sure that they were okay. And then the Costco Wholesale was very generous in that they would not take employees' sick leave for this if it were to happen. So they would still have sick leave available to them. Costco employees weren't allowed to touch the merchandise that employees had in their cart. So when it came to checkout, there was a divider between the employee and the member, and the employee would scan all of the items in the cart. They wouldn't be placed on the table and moved. They would just have to stay in the cart, and employees had to stop putting the items in boxes so that to help avoid the spread of the disease. Costco is very strict on following the CDC guidelines. During the pandemic, there was a lot of panic shopping, so there was a lot of scarcity with items such as toilet paper, water bottles, paper towels, and so there was often limits placed on items people could purchase. There was an overtime increase, and employees were often just if you have to cover for someone, make sure you get what you get done, get all that you can done, and if you've got all, you're good. And then the company was also very equitable to its employees, where this would not happen any other time, but during the pandemic, especially during the height of the panic buying of the toilet paper and water bottles, the store would have these set aside for employees to purchase. And on Saturday evenings, they would have close a little bit early and have a special time for Costco employees to do their grocery shopping that they would need at the store. And then they were very equitable. I could only find one case concerning Costco Wholesale. It happened in the state of California, where an individual had sued Costco Wholesale, Trader Joe's, and Walmart Incorporated, and several other businesses, claiming that these businesses had purposely risen the price of eggs, and Costco had denied these allegations. That's about all I could find for this case, and that's why I also researched Walmart. There was a particularly interesting case that stood up from Walmart, and it is Tony Evans, special administrator of the estate of Wando Evans, his brother, versus Walmart. And this case was interesting as Walmart had, this particular location had 2 deaths concerning COVID. This particular location had several employees that had exhibited COVID symptoms, reported these symptoms to management, and nothing was done about it. And then this employee, he had passed away, Wando Evans, which led to his brother suing Walmart on an unlawful death lawsuit. The store had been discovered that it was not following many CDC guidelines. The employees were not provided masks, gloves, there was improper sanitation. The employees weren't informed that some of their coworkers had gotten COVID-19, and the store had done nothing about making sure these sick employees were not at work, which spread the disease, which caused the death of Evans and one other of his coworkers. And so his brother sued. I have been unable to find anything about this case since, but there was 7 counts taken out on Walmart for this wrongful death. And this store did eventually change things where they had plenty of cleaning supplies, plenty of accessible gloves and masks and other things, and sick employees were taken more seriously. But I side on the case of Evans in that his brother died wrongfully. The store did not do what it should have concerning allowing employees who were still able to come in, for ignoring the claims, for not doing the proper cleaning, not providing proper equipment, and it was just a very tragic case. I have researched this case. I am unable to find an answer whether this case is complete. I presume it is, and I hope that Evans won, as this case is really tragic. It's very fascinating to read about, and I do appreciate that Walmart did step up, but I hope that Evans won in this case. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. This was a very interesting deep dive. Thank you.